Mitch, thank you so much for an awesome intro, but it's such an honor to be on your show, man. Such an honor to be talking with you this morning. I'm excited to get into a conversation for sure, man. Come on. Love it. Yep. Well, man, thank you. I love this question because a lot of podcasters they do feel that intimidation when they're trying to reach out to folks. And I'll say this, 99% of the people that I book for my show, I book through Instagram DM. And when I first started inviting people to my podcast, I did the same thing that everyone else does. I have this pre-written message that says, "Hey, this is who I am. Come on my show and let's talk about you." And then I just send that to them. I just change the name at the top, right? I learned quickly after when I started podcasting in 2017 and inviting MMA fighters to my first podcast, I learned very quickly. Correct. Yep. Totally. Yeah. Yeah. Totally. Yeah. Yep. Totally. So, very interesting enough, I came across Ed Milet when I still had my top rated MMA show. This is 2018. He had less than 1 million followers on Instagram. I came across a YouTube video and I was like, dude, I like this guy. I like his values. I align with what he's saying. So I started following him and he did this contest that he said, I want you to post a story on Instagram 1 minute long and I want to hear what your dream is. What's your goal? Like, why do you want to do this? I'd never shared my story publicly until I was 39 years old. I'm 45 now. But I had this moment when Ed said, do this. And I was like, I'm going to post a video of me sharing this story real quick and see what happens. And I went and talked to my wife. I'm like, should I share this? She's like, I think you should, but just understand there could be some backlash from family members, right? But I put it out there. And Ed said, hey, I'm going to run a contest. I'm going to grab the best one. So he's over the next few days, he's posting all these things saying, this is a top runner, it's a top runner. And I wake up one morning and I got tagged on a post from Ed Milet and I won the competition. And it landed me a 30-minute phone call with Ed Milet, me and him on Zoom. That's it. And I was like, my mind is blown. I was like, this is crazy. I'm having a one-on-one call with Ed Milet. And I was able to record that. And it was really through Ed's videos that inspired me to start the business podcast. When I first started the entrepreneur podcast, I had this big beard and I called it the Bearded Biz Show. And I think people got confused. They thought it was a beard show. My wife's like, are you sure you want to name it that? Right. And like, I was a guest on Brad Lee's podcast. And he's like, are you sure that's what you want to call it? Right. But I was able to record that interview that I had with Ed Milet, and I released it as episode 12. And I just wanted to talk with entrepreneurs, world changers, and success-minded people. And I was blessed enough to talk with Sean Whalen as episode 6, and then it kind of went on from there. The one tip I would give people when they're reaching out to these bigger names, quote unquote, out there, is don't send them a written message in the DM. I actually book everybody that books on my show. If I have the capability, 99% of the time I do, because Instagram sometimes blocks you from sending a video, but I actually pull out my phone and I do a 30-second video and I just look right into the camera and I said, Ed, I know that you just released your brand new book. I want to help you promote that. I want to help you promote your event, your course. I'd love to have you come on the show and let's talk about that. And I keep it at 30 seconds and I zip that to him in a DM. I'm not talking about my show. I want to bring them value immediately. Let me help you promote this. Let me promote you, help that. And I have never been shut down from anybody that I've sent the video to on Instagram. No one has ever come back and said, no, I'm not going to join your show when I sent that video. And that's how I've been able to book these names. Right. Yep. Right. No. Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, totally. I do a lot of research. I love to really like deep dive into my guest website. I want to look at their social media, but for the most part, I want to understand their story. Like, why is it that they're doing what they're doing, right? And so I've gotten nervous in the early days, especially when I first started talking with Ed Milet. I was nervous to talk with those guys at first. And you could tell if you look back at those videos, I'm like kind of like nervous to have this conversation with this guy. Funny story, the day that I spoke to Ed Milet, I also talked to Ken Shamrock 2 hours before. And that day was unbelievable. And actually, what I had podcast error mistake number one you never want to make. I interviewed Ken Shamrock, and 4 minutes into the interview, my recorder turned off. And I was like, Ken, I'm really sorry. Can I restart? And here's this new podcast. I'm like, hey, Ken, I'm sorry, my recorder turned off. Can I start over? And he's like, oh, sure, no problem. Well, so then I turn it back on. We start recording. My recorder turns off on minute 7. I am too embarrassed to tell him that I'm not recording. So I'm having this amazing conversation with Ken Shamrock, and none of it is going to go public. I'm not going to be able to share any of it. And I'm just thinking, this is crazy. So I get off that call. And literally an hour later, I have a call with Ed Milet. So I'm like triple checking everything. I've got to make sure everything's right. Right. So Ken's team reached out to me afterwards. I'm like, they asked me how it went. I'm like, oh, it went really good. I'm really sorry. My recorder turned off, so I'm not going to be able to release it. They said, well, let's just rebook them. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. So I had him on, and then I had him on again. And I mean, just podcast mistaker number one, do not make sure that your recording's turned on. Totally. Yeah. Right. Whew. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Totally. Yep. Yep. Yeah. Mm. I would say just do it. And I know that sounds very cliche, but I didn't know what I was doing. I recorded 100 episodes of a podcast, quote unquote, where I recorded a video and uploaded to YouTube called my podcast. And somebody asked me after I'd released 100 episodes, how can I listen to it on Apple? And I was like, what the heck is Apple Podcast? I had no idea what Apple Podcast was. I was like, oh my gosh, I am missing a whole network here, right? So I had to go back and re-upload all this stuff, right? But like, you got to just do it. And I also look at podcasting as a legacy. Now, like, I wish that I could go back 3, 4 generations deep and hear my great grandfather's voice and hear his story. And I can't do that. But I can sure as heck do that down my tribe. And they can look back and go, man, great great grandpa Erik was a bad mamma jamma. Like he did some stuff, right? Like, and they can look back and see this video, hear my voice, hear my story from me directly. So it's a legacy thing for me. But I would say if you're thinking about doing a podcast, get out there, learn as you go. And there's so many free resources out there. There's paid resources, but free resources on YouTube that will show you exactly what you need to do to launch your podcast. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Oh, sure. Sure. Yeah. Right. Yep. Totally. Mm. Yeah. Yeah, I think for me, the big spot that it's been my struggle is probably building a newsletter email list, right? Like I've got some like things, some free stuff on my website. I've got something on my website where they can sign up, right? But I think for one, I stopped sending an email for a really long time just because I got so busy and it wasn't a priority. And so my list is small, but like I would love to get to a point where I've got a larger list where I start to see some sales coming through on that email newsletter. And that's probably like the lowest point of I would say the struggle of my business is growing that email list. Right. Well, sure. Totally. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. Totally. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. Mm. Okay. Mm. Mm. Right. Nice. Mm. Mm. Yeah. Mm. Right. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Mm. Right. Sure. Totally. Mm. Right. Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Mm. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. Right. Gotcha. Yeah. Mm. Right. Totally. Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah. 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 Mm. Yep. Mm. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. For sure. Yeah. Mm. Yep. Right. Yep. Yeah. Come on. Oh, so much. Yeah. That's so good, dude. I appreciate you sharing that, man. So awesome. Yeah. Come on. Yep. Oh, come on. So good, man. I love that. Yeah, so my email actually drops every Sunday at 8 a.m. And I think what I'm going to do is just restructure that. Like typically, it's just been a recap of my podcast and the shorts that drop during the week. But I think getting laser focused on that one thing that could help somebody, even a top 5 list, right? Implementing that into the newsletter would be something that I need to start doing and being consistent with that because I've tried to put different products or things that I'm affiliated with, like within that email, and I change it. But I feel like if I can get consistent with just 1 or 2 things, maybe rotate or 3 things, right? Rotate those in. That'll build that trust where I'm not just having this like shiny object syndrome sort of thing going on, right? Sure. Yeah. Mm, yeah. Mm, love it. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, totally. Yeah. Yep. Right. Come on. So good. Yeah, thank you so much, man. Been such an honor to be on your show, Mitch. ErikAllenMedia.com is the website. ErikAllen media.com is where you can find everything from resources to books that I read to all the episodes. I'm probably most active on Instagram and YouTube are my 2 platforms. Instagram is just Erik G. Allen and YouTube is just Erik Allen Media. But those are probably the 2 most active social media platforms I'm on. Come on. Come on. So good. uh, Great conversation, man. I absolutely loved it. Sure. Nice. Yeah. Yeah. Come on. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. Yeah. Totally. Yeah. We'll hop back on. Yeah. You should have a Zoom link to mine, and we'll hop back on in about 10 minutes. Thanks, Mitch. We'll talk soon. Bye. Yep. Bye. What's going on, guys? Hey, thanks for checking it out. That was me being interviewed on a podcast. For all the people that are on here, I don't know who the idiot is that has a swastika. That guy can go to hell. He needs to go get some help. So I'm a podcaster. I'm just being interviewed. So I thought I'd show you the behind the scenes. I don't have the other side, so that's what the description says. My side only. But hopefully it helped. And anybody who's racist on here or dropping a bunch of dumb, stupid things, and peace out. But man, I appreciate you guys jumping on and maybe learning some stuff about podcasting. Have an awesome day.